Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, 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 hey. It's on and popping, y'all. It's on and popping. I guess what everybody has been waiting for or not been waiting for, it's back on. It's back on. Love and Marriage Huntsville, it's back on. And let's see, is this going to be the make it or break it season? You know, starting off, hey Shirley girl, hey Shirley girl, just sitting here. Oh girl, I need to go put my teeth in. Just hold on for a minute because I want to talk about this show. It's getting hard out here for a pill. That's a bite. I'm bite. Hi, Guta. How are you? How are you? I say, you know what? I'm just gonna watch this show because a lot of people were saying that they wasn't gonna watch it. I ain't tell that lie because I want to watch it. I want to see these people thrive. Miss Marita, what you ringing? What were you singing? What was I singing? It's hard out here for a pimp. I don't know, that song just been in my head, right? So that's what I just been saying. And that's what I've been singing, girl. All day I was in Walmart. I don't know where I heard the song from, but I just started singing the song. And that's what I was singing, girl. It's hard out here for a pimp. So I'm watching, I said I was gonna watch this show. I might not can do the commentary like everybody else do it, but I'm gonna do it the way I do it. And the hustle and flow, that's what it was. It's hard out here for a pimp. So I don't know where I was heard that song. And I just been singing that song. It's been in my head. It's just been in my head, right? So I started watching the show. So the show is starting out. And I believe the show is going to actually be good. I really do because now everybody else has a chance. It's not all about, it's not all about, one particular couple anymore. It's about all the couples now. And I don't know. Right now, I'm not. I'm really feeling the show now. It's like, okay, everybody gonna have a chance not to talk about who's cheating or who husband doing what. Everybody, it's gonna be there's gonna be a little drizzle, a little running over from what happened last season. And with the Martell Maurice thing about, and what Martell and his girl did about bringing this girl on whatever and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting. The show is back on, so I'm going to mute for a while. So I hope everybody is watching the show. Let's just give these people a chance to show us exactly what it is that they can do. So I'm going to mute and I'm going to turn it back on. And whenever a commercial come on, or I'm gonna turn it back down. But so far, with Tisha and Marceau, they have some beautiful children, especially that older girl. She is beautiful. She is gorgeous. And the little girl, she's pretty. She's a beautiful little girl. She's a beautiful little girl as well. And my thing, I think I'm gonna have a problem with Miss Wanda because I have a daughter, and and I have my daughter is the only daughter as well. And when you are calling your daughter a boss, you should let her be a boss in her personal life and in her business life. And she been Helen and Marceau for 19 years. And at some point, Miss Wanda's going to have to stand down and let Tisha be the boss that she's always bragging about her daughter being a boss. So, and Wanda need to take a back seat and cut the umbilical cord and let Tisha be a woman. Let her handle her business. And Kimmy is looking amazing, but she's starting. Kimmy is that type of person. She'll throw a rock and then she'll stand there, but she's kind of fanning the flame already. Now here's Destiny. I'm not too crazy about Destiny. I never have been. crazy about Destiny at all. So I'm gonna mute. I hope everybody's watching, and then we can kind of converse about it a little bit. I'm gonna mute and watch this scene. You know what? I am so glad that Martell is talking, even saying her real name, Ariane, because she deserved that. She's not a side chick. I don't know if she's the main chick. However, she's not a side chick anymore. They are a couple. They are together. And I'm so glad that he is acknowledging her as well. And going back to school to be a nurse, I mean, that's a good thing because my daughter is a nurse. She's an LPN right now, and she started school 2 weeks ago to get her RN. So I know to become a nurse that takes a hell of a lot of brain cell, and that takes a lot of that's like a lot of studying. And my daughter decided that she's going to put a year. She's gonna just give herself a year just to focus on, since her daughter is leaving to go to college in a couple of weeks, she's focusing on herself for this year. So it's gonna take a lot. And I hope she's strong enough to go through this, because she don't need what's getting ready to come her way with people. Because I know it's going to be a lot of people saying a lot of different things to deter this girl, and oh, it's about time, and this, that, and the other. But nursing, that's a good thing, and you got to have a little bit of smarts to do that as well. But let me get back to it, because I'm gonna talk about Destiny. And I might be getting some hate mail after this right here, because I do not care for Destiny, because Destiny is lazy. And nothing Destiny has ever did has ever last. She think, but she never put in the work to do what it is that she's the candles, Madonna. nothing. And I hope the best for her because she do have a son to raise. She have a child that she's raising, and I do understand her being a caretaker to her father as well. However, good intentions don't pay the rent, and you could think of all kind of things that you want to do, but she need to have some stick to itness. She do not have stick to itness because she thinks she's so. I feel like she thinks this is everything is alleged, and in my opinion, she has this entitled attitude, and she's not entitled to anything but hard work. When you want something and you want it bad enough, you don't care how long it take to get what it is that you want. You go out there and put the work in to get it. And she just don't have that stick to itness and that entitled attitude. And that's why I'm just not feeling her. But I'm gonna go back on mute for a while so I can see what these two talking about. But I do admire Martell for speaking Arion's name because she deserved at least that. Okay. Now the next scene that's gonna be coming up is what is it, Montreal and Ken. These are two adult men. One don't want to give up, and one ain't giving up. Montreal don't want to give up, and Ken ain't gonna give up. And I feel so sorry for Trish because Montreal has been taken care of, seem like all his life. And I blame his mom for the way that he is. It's like I don't know the dynamics of him and Trish relationship. However, I see that it could have been a strain on Tish dealing with someone like him. That was like having an extra child to take care of. And I understand, and I do really understand Ken's frustration. Either you're gonna sign these papers, because I'm not going nowhere. Me and Trish ain't finna stop nothing. It's like we done acquired too much together, and I got too much invested in this relationship. And at some point, something is going to have to break. Something is going to have to end. And so far, so good. I'm trying to figure out, I'm not team nobody. I'm not team nobody. I'm team the show. And so far, so good. Now we get into Nell and Chris. I have an issue with Nell as well. Nell seemed like last season and the season before that, Nell was like, I'm gonna get in where I fit in, and I'm not gonna try to I'm gonna play both sides. And these are adults. If their parents have not raised them, and if when they need, hey, I said what I said, hey girl, and you're not the matriarch of the show. You're not the matriarch of the show. So don't try to make yourself be like everybody got a problem. They come to you, and you and Chris been married the longest, and we don't went through. So everybody who married done went through something. uh Tisha and Marceau say they've been married 19 years. It's coming up on 20 years. They've been married for 2 decades. So nobody can tell me these two people ain't been through nothing. Kimmy and Maurice done been through some. Trish and Ken, even though they're not married, they done been through something. So everybody who's married, in a marriage, there's going to be some ups, some downs, and some crazy turnarounds. So for me, Nell, there's some things that you can tell someone, but you're not the matriarch of the show. You're not the matriarch of the show at all. So with Nell, I had problems with her last season, and I think I'm still going to have problems with her this season as well. So the show is back on, and now I want to see what these two adult men, because neither one of them is grown. Because when you have grown, before you can call yourself grown, you should be have grown from this situation that they're going through. So these just two adult big boys, two man child right now. So I'm gonna mute again. I'm gonna hear what these two guys have to say, because with somebody like Montreal, I would have been to bust his head open to the white meat a long time ago. So and and I do have I do have an opinion on Montreal. I might not even be saying his name right, but I do have an opinion about Montreal because he's been showing some tendencies, but I can't say. Um and I'm not going to say because that's not my place and I don't know. However, I think he think this is a game. He's playing a real dangerous game, not only with his life, with Ken, Tish, and his children. He's going to make his children lose all respect for him as a man. So I'm a mute so I can see what they talking about. Coming right back, y'all. Coming right back. Love and Marriage, Huntsville. Hey, Miss Mimi. And while I got y'all on here, I will be back Monday. I'm just going to do Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays to start out with. We're watching Love and Marriage, Huntsville. And this is a good conversation between two adult men. They're going to have to coexist because, those are his children, those are Montreal children. And Ken got to understand this man want a relationship with his kids. So the conversation is a grown up, is an adult conversation. They're talking like, okay, maybe during the hiatus they've been doing some growing, because it ain't about, you could beat me or I could beat you. We don't know who could beat who, because ain't nobody out there doing no fighting, and stuff like that. So these are kids, and he with the woman that you used to be with, she don't want you no more. And if she wanted you, y'all will still be together. So what y'all need to do, y'all gonna have to learn how to coexist for these children and be able to get along. Now, here it comes Miss Nail and Miss Nail and Mr. Nail. I'm gonna hear what they got going on. Now, as an adult myself and a parent to three people, as a parent to three adults that have children of their own, name I the only way I have never interfered with any of my kids' relationships, but I will, however, I will interfere when it comes to the children. I don't tell them what to do in their relationship. I don't tell them how to do whatever it is that they do in their relationship. And most of the time, I don't even want to hear about what's going on in their relationship. Because I remember a long time ago, my aunt used to tell us, they say teeth and tongue will fall out. But at the end of the day, when your mouth is closed, they still together. And when you get into your children's business and you telling them what they ought to do, what they should do, they get they tell you things in the heat of the moment. And then you all discombobulated, you mad, you want to go out there and beat somebody down because something they done did to your daughter, something they done did to your son. I have learned, and I am learning. I stay out my children's business. I listen at what they gotta say, and then my first thing, especially with my daughter, my first thing with her was, "Well, what did you do? What did you do for it to get to where it is now?" And with I know her attitude, and I know my youngest, I don't know what it means to be an Aries because I'm not an Aries, but I have two Aries. My granddaughter is an Aries, and my son is an Aries. And those two people, it's like pulling teeth. And when they don't want to talk to you, they don't talk to you. They just shut down. And I understand how hard that is for somebody to be in a relationship with my youngest son. I'm his mama, and it's hard sometimes. So I get that. But these children who like to say they grown, you need to let them be grown and stay out their damn business. And when they start running to you with all their crap and putting all that on you, you need to back up and tell them to back up off me because I don't want to hear that. You get it straight. And all I do is give my children constructive advice, and I give them constructive criticism. If you don't want to be with that person, leave them. That's my first thing. If you don't want to be with them, leave them because you're not going to come and bog me down with your issues. And the next thing I know, y'all bite together. And then I'm looking like Boo Boo the fool, Boo Boo the clown. I'm sorry, Mimi. I'm sorry, girl, about you being an Aries, but y'all some hard people to deal with. Y'all some real hard people to deal with. It is like pulling teeth trying to talk to an Aries. And when they get in their ways, when they shut down, they down. They down for the count and they ain't coming back up till they want to. So let's see what they telling bald head. Martell. Let's see what they talking about now. I cannot, I would not be able to deal with somebody like it's Marquez, and I've been saying Martrell. See, I'm not good with name Marquez. Even the name is messed up. What do you expect? He's just a messed up. Even you give him the benefit of the doubt, and he would mess it up every time. He would mess it up every time. You know, I this is my opinion. Okay, Martell and Destiny, they two are the same people. They two peas in the same shell. They are entitled And every time they do things, they always think of somebody owed them an apology. You went out and tried to destroy another person's marriage. You went as far as to get someone who said that they had been with a man, knowing that, I don't know, this is just my opinion. I don't know if they were, this girl had been with Marceau or not. But then I don't know what kind of friends these people are. I don't know how people define the word friend, because I on reality shows, when they say they are friends, it's like they have a conversation and then they can't wait. They get in the car and they start, girl, let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what she just said. And it's like, I don't run back to people and tell what the conversation was. Because if I feel like if that person wanted everybody to know what the conversation was, they got an Instagram, they got a TikTok. They got, they could put it on Facebook Live. They could put it on Thread, whatever. They could do it like that. And I just don't understand the dynamics of these friendships. And it seems like everybody on here on this one particular show, except, and I think Kimmy is going to be my favorite one. She a little messy, but I can stand that. I could go along with her being a little messy. But and Marceau, he is who he is. And Maurice, he's trying to play a role that he's not equipped to play. This is just my opinion. Dr. Martin Luther, whoever. So I'm just not feeling Maurice. I never really felt Maurice, so I'm not feeling Maurice. But there's a couple entitled people on here, and the further we go, and babyfied. They so baby. Tisha is too babyfied for me, girl. You a grown woman. I'ma say it. You a grown woman. Cause they like to throw the word grown around. You an adult with 3 children. Cut the umbilical cord. Put your mom. There's a way that you can put your mom in her place. Destiny is entitled. She feel like people owe her something. And Martell, I just don't know about him. I just really don't know about him. Okay, the show is back on, and I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna listen at what he said. He think he needs an apology, and I want to know. Like I'm like Nell and Chris. What the hell for? What you need an apology for? What the hell for? So I want to see. Let me just mute and turn this back on. Martell's so messy. Martell is so messy. Martell say, I just come over here for, now that the apology is out the way, I just come over here for one thing. Did Lance have a baby on Destiny? If it's out there on social media, of course he did. Of course he had a baby. They ain't married. Lance been doing what Lance do. Lance was out there lancing. Lance was out there lancing. And I know old girl and think she was the only one, that she was the main one, the only one. And then he out there, and they out there doing it raw. Oh my. goodness. And then what Martell just said about Tisha. This what Martell said. He said Tisha is smart and dumb at the same time. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use that. How can you be smart and dumb at the same time? Mm. That now it's with Ken and Tisha. I really don't Teresa, Ken, and Tisha. What is it, whatever her name is. There, I don't want to hear what they got to say because this is between. But I do want to hear when Marquez come to the house. Hey Mildred, hey girl. So I really want to, but you know what? I want everyone to give this show a chance because I honestly think this it's not even a make or break season because it's going to be what it's going to be, and they know what they have to do and still be true to who they are. And the show is light. The show seem as if it's light. Um, it's not bogged down. There's not a dark cloud over it, and everybody just seems like a breath of fresh air. There's a newness I feel about the show. So I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to give it for the first four episodes. And it seems as though they're bringing it. They're setting the stage for how everything is gonna. They're setting the stage for how it's gonna go. So, and I can appreciate. I can appreciate that. I appreciate that. And this is not about anything other than the show. The show. I don't see a front runner in the show as of yet, but my bet is on Kimmy. I can see Kimmy being the front runner in the show because Kimmy, even though she got some pettiness and she's a tad sprinkled with some messiness. Um, she's for me, she's kind of even a little bit with the petty and the messiness. Um, she's smart and she says what she say and she means what she say. And now that everybody has their own story, that they're not making one particular person their storyline. Everybody has a storyline. uh Tisha and Marceau's storyline is whatever their storyline is going to be. And you got Wanda in the mix. And then you have what is not Neil, Nail and Chris. Her and Destiny's storyline pretty much going to be the same with Lance. And Lance done had this baby, and he wasn't man enough to go and tell Destiny about. But why should he? They wasn't in a committed relationship. They was just they was hunch buddies. They was exchanging do it fluid. So he don't owe her nothing. They were not in a committed relationship. And the way Nell is talking is like whoever the lady is that had the baby from Lance, she the one who need an explanation. She the one, not Destiny. So we can see what Destiny's storyline is sort of going to be about. Lance having an outside baby. It's not an outside baby because they wasn't together. They just wasn't together. And we see what Tish and Ken's story basically gonna be the same. Marquez. And this gonna make for an interesting season. And Wanda just gonna get in where she gonna fit in, and she's gonna be all up in her children, all up in her daughter's business again, like she was in the beginning. I don't have a problem with that because that's the way she is. And in a the dynamic of their relationship, what I have seen and what I am seeing now, there comes a cutoff point. There's a cutoff point. And if I'm bragging and telling everybody my daughter is a boss, the boss, she gonna handle her own personal business, because that can drive a wedge between her and the relationship that she's in. So, and Wanda has not just gotten like that, and it wasn't like that for TV. It's just like she's always been like that. And there's some things that you don't run and tell your mama. There's some things that you handle between you and your husband, you and your man, you and your significant other. You do not run and tell, because at the end of the day, they still together. They still together. 2 decades later, they still together. He ain't going nowhere. And she could have filed for divorce allegedly, and in my opinion, she could have filed for a divorce, but they still together. They still together. They still together. Now it's back on with Trish and her friend. So let's see what they talking about. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me put some sauce in it. I get what Trish is saying about trying to hold her peace. And my thing with that is it should always be about the children. Not the mom, not his mama, not his grandmama, not his great grandmama, not none of them. My thing is they just walk into each other's house like that. Let me see what this nincompoop talking about. Y'all. This show here, this show gonna be good. If nothing else, Marquez might be the star of the show at this point. My thing is, you walk into someone's house and you love to cause disturbance. He loves to cause disruption. He like to push buttons. And at some point, for Trish not to set it off and stop getting upset with him, he is her trigger. Every time he opened his mouth, it triggers her. And now I think when him and Ken had that talk, I believe now he thinks he has an open door. I don't care about them, your children. This is my house. You don't pay the mortgage. You ain't bringing no bags of grocery up in here. You ain't paying no light bill. You ain't paying no water bill. You ain't out there mowing the yard or paying for the lawn service. You ain't doing nothing. So therefore, you don't have the right to come to my house unless you call or text to say, is it okay? I don't care about your children being upstairs. I don't care about that. You still do not walk in my house. The proper thing to do is to knock on the door and wait for me to ask, who is it? Or got a rain camera, see who it is. And if I want to answer, I'm going to answer. And if I don't want to answer, you're going to stand right out there and keep on knocking. There has got to be some boundaries set. And Chris and Tish and Ken going to have to be on the same page when he's having these conversations with Marquez. Because now Marquez has taken what kids say. You always welcome. We're gonna co-parent. That don't mean when you just feel like pulling up, you just pull up. No, it don't, it's not like that because there's an order in this house. There's structure in this house, and it seemed like his children got more damn sense than he do. And his children, especially his son, seemed like he got more understanding than what his father has. And see, his father is um I ain't even say he's smart and dumb at the same time. I'm just gonna say he's just dumb at all times. He is just dumb at all times. But you know what? The show is interesting. The show is interesting and it's starting out on a good note. And I hope it continue to be on a good note and don't bring up nobody from the past because nobody from the past is there to cause disruption. Nobody from the past is there to bring up, well, your husband was doing this, and nobody's there to do all of that. Now, and let the storylines be something different. Now, I want to see is Miss what her name, Miss Ariane, gonna be here because her name is being thrown out there. And he even said, Martell even said he having his boo tang his booty get in nursing school. And I know what it takes for a person to get into nursing school. There's an aptitude test that has to be taken. And there's a lot that goes on with that. And I'm so glad finally, he is not calling her a peasant anymore because he been with about as long as he was when he was married. So they need to just going to make this thing official now. Okay, let's see what Trish telling this dumb Diddy now. Baby, 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 baby. This show is going to be very interesting. I'm not to the, it's going to be very good, good, but it's going to be very interesting. And now it seems like she just taking over, with about the husband cheat. Look, everybody's still with their husband. If they cheated, had outside babies, if you was the side chick, you was married and still was the side chick, or you married and you the side chick, whatever it is, y'all still married. Ain't nobody gone nowhere. You stayed with Chris. Martell is with Ariane. Marceau is still with Tisha. Kimmy ain't going nowhere because she waited damn near 10 years to get married to Marie, so ain't nobody going nowhere. Ken and Trish, eventually the divorce is going to be final and everybody is together. So I'm so sick of these talking about, well, you didn't, but my husband cheated. All the men on the show done cheated. Every last one of them done cheated. Allegedly, and in my opinion, they just didn't get caught up like Martell got caught up. Martell was just dumb and dumber at the same time and at all times. He was just dumb. He just got caught. He got caught up and got caught. So now, since it's like that, it seems like they want everybody. Why they keep talking about who cheated on who? It does not matter. Nobody did not do anything. Nobody did not leave. Nobody left, but Martell and his ex-wife. They decided to, okay, we're gonna call it a wrap. We're gonna call it a wrap. So tonight I'm gonna give this show because it started out on a good foot. It started out on a good foot. So I'm gonna say it was a 10 tonight. Now I don't know how it's gonna be the rest of the nights, but the night it was a 10. It was a 10. So I'm gonna see what it's gonna be looking like, look like it's gonna be a good season, y'all. Look like it's gonna be a good season. And before I end, no one person, like on Drumline, where Nick Cannon character thought he could play the drums so good, and the man said one band, one sound, and when we play together, nobody hears you at all. They hear the band. They hear that one sound, regardless of how good you think you are. And that's the way I'm seeing tonight. Everybody know they had a part to play and they were playing their parts. And it wasn't about this person, the conversations wasn't about the same thing all the time about who husband cheat. Oh yeah, it was some questions being asked about that, but you can see everybody have a storyline. Everyone has a storyline, and it's not centered around one particular person or one particular couple. And so that's what makes the show. Because someone left the show, that's not going to make or break the show. And for what I am seeing, the show is much better. Please don't, whoever watched this tonight, please don't be putting nothing down in my DMs or be saying nothing to me, because this is my opinion. The show just seems like they can breathe now. There's not a dark cloud hanging over the show now. Everybody seems like they are free, not afraid of people coming at them, and all sorts of things like that. So tonight was now we exactly we see everybody. We see everybody now. So and that's a good thing. That let's see. Yeah. Okay, let me just go back. Let me go back. Not right there. Yep. So um tomorrow is Sunday. So, I won't be doing church videoing tomorrow because I won't be in church tomorrow. I'm taking a day off, and I will, Lord's willing, I will be on Monday morning at 7 for morning conversation because I have been getting phone calls and stuff like that. So I I'm in a better place now, and I feel like I'm better. I'm better, and I I'm ready. I'm ready now. I am ready to I'm ready to resume my place now. If somebody see this, if you want to come up and say something, if not, I can say good night and we call it a day. Um, I get some rest. I was out earlier today with my daughter, and I'm telling y'all, at 9:30 this morning, it was 90 something degrees, and I can't do the sun, and it just drains me, um, being out in the sun. So I'm gonna, what is it? It's after 9, so I'm just gonna chill out and go back to Amazon, not Amazon, but Netflix and watch whatever I was watching on Netflix. So y'all have a good night. And Lord's willing, I will see everybody bright and early Monday morning. So peace out, deuces, and I love you. And whenever you see me in these YouTube streets, holler at me. I holler back. Holler and good night.